Your website has just 3 seconds to grab attention before a visitor decides whether to stay or leave. Hi, I'm Ian, co-founder of Focus 15, and today we're talking about the 5 key elements of your front-end website that will ensure it delivers for your business. The first decision you need to make is the name, because you'll want this reflected in the URL of your website. So when choosing your name, I'd recommend 2 things. Firstly, check what domains are available relating to your preferred name. You can use a domain register such as GoDaddy to check, it's fairly easy. You don't want to do things, or the last thing you want to do is design things, only to find out that another company or one of those leeches who buy up domain names in the hope they can sell them for a higher price have taken it. And secondly, if you want to create a brand around that name, check whether it's registered as a trademark on the IPO website. Your next decision is how you're going to build the website, and you've got a few options. For more sophisticated websites, if you're a developer, you could write your own code, or you might employ a design agency. For fairly simple websites, you could build your own using DIY builders such as Wix or WordPress. Or you could get a freelancer or small agency to do that for you. And if you choose to employ one, a third party would start probably at around £2,000 for a fairly basic site. But cost to build is only one consideration, and for me, it's not the most important. As sure as anything, you will absolutely make changes to this website. You'll continually change it to improve engagement and conversion rates. So the most important consideration is how you make those changes. If you have to rely on someone else for every change, it can be really expensive very quickly, and it can also be very slow. Ideally, you want to have the capability to make the changes yourself, and that's why the DIY builders have become so popular, especially with startups. Even if the initial build is done by a freelancer or a small agency, they give you the ability to maintain it in the future. Next, you'll need to choose your hosting partner, which is basically a service that allows you to store files on the server that's connected to the internet, so that are accessible to anyone through a browser. There are plenty of options out there. Key factors include pricing, reliability and performance, security features like SSL certificates and backups, and I always believe that quality customer support is really important for startups. You can sometimes get deals on hosting when you buy your domain, or you can source them independently. You just need to make sure if you do that the name servers are those of your hosting provider. And just to be clear, the domain name system, or DNS, is a bit like a telephone directory, so when someone enters your name on a browser, the browser asks the DNS system where it's hosted, it then finds the name servers of your host and requests for the pages to be served from there. That's how it works. Also, you'll notice that some URLs start with HTTP, which means Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and others start with HTTPS, where the S means secure. So HTTPS is essential if you collect data, sell products, or want to build trust. You can set this up with your hosting partner, and it's usually free. Next up is the design. Now, some people have a flair for design, and some people have a flair for writing copy, and some people don't. If you do, then great, but if not, there are lots of freelancers and agencies who can help. Even if it's just to get a second opinion, and I'd always recommend getting a second opinion from someone, it can be worth it just to make sure you present the best side of your business. There are many different types and styles of websites and more blogs and posts than you can shake a stick at advising you how to do it. But there's one thing that all effective websites have in common. They put the customer first. Great websites aren't a list of products or service features or clever technical gizmos or fancy graphics that make you feel dizzy. They're about how you, the customer, benefits, because people buy benefits and not features. An effective design is about plotting your customer's journey from the moment they arrive on the site to the actions you want them to take. The approach we take is called laddering, and we offer a template on our Focus 15 programs that help founders because we see so many getting this wrong. Think of the journey as a ladder. When the customer arrives on your site, they're on the first step. So your initial focus is getting them to the next step, not to the top, just the next step, and you only have 3 seconds to do it. So you don't have time to tell them everything. You have just enough time to send out a compelling hook that tells them how you can help them. So let's say you're Focus 15 on running programs to help founders. A feature-led headline could be a startup platform with programs to take you from setup through to Series A funding. But a benefit-led one could be your startup platform for success. And a subheading to give a sense that we're bringing clarity, traction and growth. In other words, headlines that are about you. So now they're on step 2, you have a few seconds to move into the next step, which may be an explanation of why you're different, then perhaps how it works, then maybe pricing and testimonials and so on. With each step including calls to action such as sign up or book a call or buy now or learn more, that all take them to the top of your ladder. Map out the journey one step at a time, and within each step think about what might put customers off. especially when they're dealing with a new company, and how you can mitigate them. Testimonials, awards, partnerships can build trust. Money-back guarantees or free trial periods can remove risk. And scarcity or time-bound offers can also create urgency. Have a clear menu at the top, providing the information your customer needs. You might include an about page to make your business a bit more human and relatable. You may add product or service pages which can give more detail about what you actually offer. Some companies have a pricing page, but sometimes if you're offering a more bespoke or complex service or product, you might prefer to quote on application. It's all about expectations. So if I'm looking for someone to build a website, I would expect a quote rather than a stated online price. But if I wanted to buy a pair of trainers, then I'm expected to see a price, and if you don't show me one, I'm going to go somewhere else probably. A contact page, make it easy for customers to contact you. I know there's a fashion amongst the biggest companies to make it almost impossible for you to contact them, and it drives me nuts. But they've earned such a dominant position that they don't really care. Startups don't have that luxury. A lot of sites also include blogs or resources because they help with search engine optimization or SEO and credibility. But be careful. The reality of blogs, especially in the media saturated world we live in today, is that only 20% of people get past the headline and even fewer finish it. And it's really time consuming. Coming up with fresh ideas that your customers might engage with isn't easy. Writing it's harder. Even with the help of AI, it takes time. And if no one's going to read it, why bother? And that's why so many websites show an initial burst of activity and enthusiasm followed by nothing for months, if not years. So if you do it, understand why you're doing it. If it's SEO, then make sure it includes the right keywords, internal and external links. If it's for credibility, then make sure it relates to exactly what you do and what you're trying to say. And be consistent and efficient so it doesn't take you too long. And most sites also include a footer which provides links to your pages just like a header, as well as social links and legal pages such as privacy policies and terms and conditions. And finally, a quick word about SEO. SEO is not what it used to be because AI generated answers and sponsored ads dominate the top of search pages. But SEO is still important for visibility, partly because AI tools often pull from the top ranked websites. So to some extent the goal is to attract AI tools as well as customers. So make sure your website is fast and responsive. Compress images, add alt text and meta tags to your pages to give search engines better information about you. Google's crawlers will automatically index your website eventually, but it can also be slow for startups, so it can help to manually submit your sitemap to the Google Search Console, and many site builders generate sitemaps automatically, so it's quite easy. And you can also do the same thing with Bing with their webmaster tools. And once you're live, test and iterate. Set up Google Analytics so you can see activity on your website, such as how many visitors, how long they spend on each page, the journey they're taking. Look at other tools like Hotjar to see how visitors are interacting, where they're dropping off your pages. Test different headlines and images. Ask real users for feedback. Your website will continue to evolve. It will never be perfect, so don't spend too much time worrying about every single detail. Focus on improving conversions and let your users determine what works and what doesn't. And for founders of our Focus 15 programs, don't forget to use our templates. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, hit subscribe, drop a comment or get in touch at focus15.co.uk. In the meantime, stay focused and see you in the next one.